Hello everyone, I'm back in here to react to RWBY Vol.7 episode 12. We are in the second to last episode of the finale. I don't have my brother here with me this time to watch it. He wasn't able to make it today, so I'm going to be reacting to myself, but I'll have him over for the discussion, maybe some reaction highlights later. So that will be connected to this video, but yeah, just me for today. So, yeah, this is it. This is the episode, this is the... I don't know what's gonna happen. I've heard there's a lot I've been scared for. There's a lot that's gonna... There's been a lot of build-up for this. There's been some from RWBY and some fan theories and all those other things. Just a lot of build-up, and I'm a little scared. They keep saying we're not ready, and that doesn't make me. That makes me more ready. But at the same time, it's like if I'm more ready, oh man, I'm stalling. I'm stalling. So yeah. Without further ado, let's begin. Okay, Aesop's versus RWBY.
I am with declaring martial law and abandoning the
Asp.
Salem is coming and he's going to use the steps to move Atlas. If we don't stop him, Mabel's going to be declaring martial law? We cannot let him do this.
Miss Hill, I'm sure the General understands the enormity of this. Clover. Crow, you should know that I've been asked to bring you in. A free ride and a show. There's also an alert out for Team Ruby's arrest. What? Has James lost his mind?
He's trying to stop anybody who might get in the way of this inhumane plan. Looks like he underestimated me. Again.
Only Crow is under arrest. After everything we've been through tonight, please don't make me arrest you too. Cut it out, both of you. We're almost back to Atlas. Let's talk to James personally.
It's taking a very long time for this show to get to the good part.
Shut up.
He's right. Let's get this over with.
Robin?
Robin? Okay, right inside the place.
Fine.
Ooh!
I wish it hadn't come to this. It doesn't have to.
You can hug it out once we've taken them down.
Oh, he's gonna get free, I know it. Yep. You guys are
What are you doing? The will of our goddess!
Did he just jump?
What did you do? The General is leaving Mantle to perish?
He's saving Remnant. We can't let the relics fall to Salem.
Winter.
But all those people we just protected, they won't survive.
We don't have time to...
That doesn't bother you?
Come on, Penny.
What about your sister? Our friends?
My personal feelings don't matter. We have orders. I'm to retrieve the power of the Winter Maiden so we can access the relic. You're here to ensure my safety. Oh, come on. We've already lost enough time.
It should matter.
Penny, the General is making hard choices so we don't have to. For the good of all, not just a few.
I do not see what is good about any of this.
Penny?
On that we can agree.
Okay.
Please, think about what you're doing. You heard the General. Until this is sorted out, you're under arrest.
Whoa. Okay. Dang. Oh, that's actually...
Please, don't make this difficult.
Don't make us have to get out of here by force.
Whoa. We're not actually going to slug this out, are we?
Mara.
We're not doing anything. They decide what happens next. You think you're going to stop us? We're the best huntsmen in Atlas.
You were. Then you trained us.
Oh! Oh, that was a good... Woo! Get out of...
Come on, Harriet! We're playing right into Salem's hands! You know we need to be working together!
Oh, don't give me that crap. I had you kids pegged right from the start.
Yeah! Oh, dang! Mm. Oh! Oh! Uh-oh.
If you come peacefully, we won't hurt you.
Speak for yourself. They betrayed us.
You're betraying the people you've sworn to protect!
It's not worth it, Blake. They're just following orders now.
Oh! Come on!
I know you sneeze are used to getting what you want, but it's time to let this one go.
This is my home. And I'm not giving it up without a fight.
Oh wow, they are far away. They are way too far. Well, Crow can bird it, but Robin. She's alive.
Robin needs help. Surrender, and we can take her to Atlas. Get her patched up. Never pegged you for the manipulative type, but I've learned a lot of things tonight. I enjoyed working with you, you know. Even with that endless cynicism of yours. I'm usually proven right. We don't have to fight, friend. You don't know my friends. That's how it always goes.
Oh, this is... Nobody checked on him. Nobody tied him up extra tight. No. Did he? Oh, did he dislocate to? Ooh. Oh, that's a trick. That's a trick, all right. Ooh. 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 Oh boy. Ooh.
Oh, don't stop on
Ah.
Wasn't planning on it.
Not right now. What is that? What? Who? What? Okay.
Me and you have a score to settle. Oh, I agree. So let's say we put the kid to bed and then finish it.
Okay. Okay, this I did not see coming.
Marrow, cut the crap, will you?
I'm trying to arrest her, not kill her, Hare. You're being excessive.
It's not excessive if it's necessary.
Ooh. Gosh, Blake is just... Yeah.
Time to wrap this up, fine. They've had their chance. Don't be soft.
Are you telling me? Or yourself?
Okay. Woo! Mm. Woo! Blake, come on! You can't... Broken.
Never really had a
Dang! Oh, she can still move the knight while she's frozen. He can only do one at a time. Broken. Wow. Woo! She just Come on! She can't stick to the ground. There's no ground to stick to. Oh! Broken. Woohoo! Ow. You're broken. Yeah.
We have to stop Ironwood. If he can't access the relic, he can't move Atlas.
We just have to get to the Winter Maiden. Blake and I will look for the others.
But our scrolls don't.
This is the part where they ask us to help.
Okay, yeah. What happened here?
Oscar must be around here. Oscar! 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 You're here!
No! 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 Oh, thank goodness.
This crazy girl showed up and attacked me, but she looks like someone else.
Neapolitan.
You know her? We haven't exactly heard good things.
Okay.
I hope it will be painless for her.
You said your personal feelings do not matter.
They won't change my actions. What I'm committed to. The power of the Winter Maiden and the relic must be kept from our enemies. Even if it means she dies. But, yes, Penny, we must still acknowledge our personal feelings. Wrestle with them. It ensures us that we're on the right path. It's what makes us human.
I think I understand.
What was that?
She. Oh, Winter. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh. Nah, that's not gonna stop it.
Both of Ironwood's puppets. Lucky me.
Cinder.
You were responsible for Beacon. For what happened to me.
It was, unfortunately, temporary. Now step aside or there won't be anything left to salvage this time. What do you think of that?
I think it gives me personal feelings.
Okay, this is so this is so weird. I can't believe this fight. Your luck, man. Your luck. Can you hold out for that long? Ooh. Oh, his semblance. Semblance. Mm. Broke. Yeah.
Why couldn't you just do the right thing instead of the thing you were told? Sometimes the right decision is the hardest to make. I trust James with my life. I wanted to trust you.
Wow. That. Wow.
doesn't look like your friend is gonna make it.
I'll kill you!
Oh, you mean like you just killed Clover?
He did break his overhand.
Here they come. Right on time. Oh, looks like our score will have to wait. You know my track record with the authorities.
Dang. Dang, he...
Someone had to take the fall. James will take the fall. I'll make sure of it.
Sun's rising.
Good luck.
He's coming. Wow. Wow, that one so many ways I didn't expect. That was, I know, oh man, I can't, Crow, dude. I don't know what to say. Like, in the heat of the moment, sure, but no, that all just backfired and. Oh, Penny and Cinder. Gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is the next episode's the final one. The next episode's the final episode, isn't it? Oh my gosh. The next episode's the final one, and that's it. That's this volume, and oh, this was a good episode. This was so good. This was so good, and just the fights were so well made. The fights, so good. And man, I will say I did not expect RWBY to actually beat Aesop's. They actually, gosh, and now Crow's gonna be framed-ish. Like, oh man, that's, there's like not even Robin could she wasn't there to witness anything, so sometimes she could be like a credible witness. Crow's outlawed, basically. God. And now Team RWBY's, they're outlaws too, but they got stuff out, and then Neo versus Orange or Junior, basically. Like, I thought, man. So Oscar's always getting in like trouble and always being able to get himself out of it, but that was so, for a second there I thought something bad was gonna happen to Nora. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut to me and my brother talking about this episode and the highlights. So see you there.
Highlight reel. Begin! Begin!
It is Thursday. It has been, gosh, it's been so many days since Saturday since I watched the episode. Here he is.
I'm waiting!
Finally.
Show me the episode!
He has no idea.
Begin!
So yeah, here's his highlights.
Clover. Crow, you should know that I've been asked to bring you in.
A free ride and a show. They're taking a very long time for this show to get to the good part.
Shut up.
He's right. Let's get this over with.
Robin? Fine. I wish it hadn't come to this. It doesn't have to.
You can hug it out once we've taken him down!
What are you doing? The will of our goddess!
Weiss, what did you do? What about your sister? Our friends?
My personal feelings don't matter. We have orders. I'm to retrieve the power of the Winter Maiden so we can access the relic. You're here to ensure my safety.
Don't tell me these two are gonna
Oh,
fight.
come on. We've already lost enough time.
Are they gonna fight?
It should matter.
You heard the General. Until this is sorted out, you're under arrest.
Oh man, Windows weren't gonna escape.
Yeah.
Really?
Please, don't make this difficult.
Don't make us have to get out of here by force.
Who are your bets on? I don't know. Aesops are used to fighting people, probably. Oh. Now my bet's on Team RWBY. They don't have the right people against the right people, I don't think. Yang should not be fighting her. Blake should be fighting Speedy Person, I think, because she can do her her dissipation. And the other person who's up against Yang is used to fighting strong people. Her time change. We haven't seen that in forever. I don't know. I don't think it'll be enough to counteract his power. How low were they flying? Well, they were trying to get back to Atlas from Mantle. Oh, they're near the edge, it looks like, so I guess they just gone over the edge. Who do you think's gonna win that one? I'm more worried about what Tyrion's gonna do since he's somewhat free. Yep, he's dislocating, isn't he? Yep. Ow. That's gets me. Ouch. I don't remember how exactly that works. I don't want to think about it. It's like trying to remember how it affects like the way in which your hand can slide. It's because it just gets rid of that whole joint, right? Or it's like it makes your thumb like more flexible, like that whole. Oh, it's because right here where the joint is, when you dislocate it there, you can push the thumb under your hand here, and it becomes just a slide. Oh, I hate. I don't know what it is. It's like I can't deal with like normal like internal stuff. The tendons pulling the. Oh yeah, I can't deal with that stuff. But when it comes to like bone dislocation, it's just crunchy stuff. Crunchy stuff gets me. It's weird because crunchy stuff gets you with that, but it doesn't get you when it comes to like eating crunchy candy. Oh no, like no. I mean like, but we're opposites on that. Like stuff that shouldn't crunch but does crunch. Is a bad kind of crunch. Both should not crunch. Actually, I wonder if that's the noise it would even make when it dislocates. I'm not sure it would make a crunch. It'd probably make more of a pop. Mm-hmm. Or maybe a snap. It's just the muscles getting juiced back into place. And I have to watch it again. I have to watch it again. Ugh. And Robin's dead. Ow. I think he's dealt with enough bad luck he can take a punch, though. Really? You got a world-class criminal serial killer and you're attacking Bird Boy? Is that a horseshoe?
Yeah, another lucky charm.
Turns out his semblance is actually amplified the more lucky charms he's wielding.
That's probably why he does it.
There we go, start teaming up. And Ironwood followers, obviously. Oh! Where's your semblance right now? Come on, Blake. Oof. One way of doing that. Oh, there is the semblance. It's time to get serious. Oof. So you can only do one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And the person is slowed to a halt, not their mind or anything. Not, like their physical movement is slowed. Woo!
So she disintegrates.
Huh. Oh! Ow!
Drop him.
It's not Oscar, is it? Oh, yes! Not necessarily. Those things had better have some, better shielding.
Yeah.
Or protection. This is not your job, Winter. Okay. Well, okay. If that door has anything to say about the security of this place.
Well, it's the whole wall.
We made super strong door. Didn't think about the wall, though. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, even though he poisoned me.
Yeah.
Oh. Trying to make an opening. Oh no. Looks like you're all out of luck. And so is Crow. Because his weapon killed the Aesop. So how would James trust him? Get the fishing hook and use it. Just reel him back in. It's like, oh, you have my track record with the authority. Ah, look. Dual wielding a fishing hook and a scythe. Oh my gosh, throwing the scythe with the hook attached and pulling it back. Could you imagine Crow dual wielding those weapons? That would be interesting. That part was that fight there was really well done. That fight was good. Yeah, that was an episode. Okay, so that was episode 12, the episode before the finale episode. The finale episode's this week, and yeah. Well, we fixed the error that they had a problem because they had 5. We fixed it. Oh God. That's horrible. Yeah, so I've had like a week to kind of process, and also I've kind of adjust some thoughts and so on. I've seen a lot of the discussions going about this episode have been pretty wild, divided, I should say. It was interesting because, well, one, we had a lot of fights, which is cool. Yeah, we had some cool fights. So, and the use of abilities and such. Okay, I think the only complaint I have about it is the way in which the tone is so up and down until the very end when it goes down. So it's like it starts down because we have the problem, and then the RWBY team starts winning. We're going up, and Crow starts joining Tyrion. We're going down. RWBY team wins, and then Crow at the end. So that's the only we're having these highs and lows, and then of course we have. So there's been a lot of complaints. Some people think that RWBY shouldn't have won against the Ops. And I kind of understand where they're coming from, but I totally disagree because of how this episode did it. Because, well, what do you think about that? I like the way the characters were able to beat the characters that should have been able to beat them. Mm-hmm. So, like, Hammer Girl. Mm-hmm. I'm terrible at remembering names. Elm. She definitely would have beat Yang in Yang's normal way of fighting. But as we've seen as the story has progressed, she's gotten better at watching her opponent and such. Yeah. Yang is no longer just heavy hitting. Yeah. So that's how she was able to win along with help. Yang's Blake. More creative. Blake is definitely creative with her semblance and working it well with Yang. So the way they beat him when he grabbed her.
Yeah, that was I
didn't expect. I do say there's one problem with that I have. It's that you were expecting him to grab you and pull you close. What if he had just slapped you at Yang and then all those bombs would have gone right back at Yang?
I don't know, but
that's a lot of faith in your plan.
See, that's the thing. That's what kept happening to Blake, is she kept getting grabbed. So they saw that as an advantage.
Like the only,
and I really like I
like it.
In my reaction, when I saw Blake get grabbed that final time, I was like, Blake, you gotta stop. And then it was a shadow clone. I was like, oh, I applaud. I was like, yeah.
It's like, oh, look, it's like, hey, look, bombs. Let me stick them to me.
Yeah, that was.
It was cool.
I really
I
liked
still
that.
think that fight against Electro Bunny.
Hair.
There wasn't much of a fight there. Really, it was just. Whoa!
Yeah, it was. I will say this Hair definitely has. I don't know.
I see the.
I think Hair does
RWBY
have
winning that.
Okay,
for a few reasons.
But yeah, RWBY.
Hair is very like up close and personal with her fighting style.
Yeah.
But
Also, RWBY
speed
is too
alone.
versatile. RWBY isn't speed, as we saw in that when Hair had her pinned and was going to handcuff her. RWBY just disintegrated around her and handcuffed her Hair. Because if you in that fight, she was actually like tied up. She was only fighting with her legs at that point.
Yeah,
which was really cool. Like she was still fierce with just legs.
Like, oh, we just got to get the legs now.
And
like, if you have an opponent who runs around a lot, tie the legs. They probably can't punch worth.
That actually would have been smart for RWBY to go for the legs instead of the arms.
This is Hair is our AT-AT. RWBY, you gotta be a speeder.
Yeah, but basically, Team RWBY was a team. The Aesops were not. They did not work together.
I can say that's one.
That's what the main driving.
Actually, interesting point on that. They do work well together until they're put into a position where it's follow orders or do the right thing, and they're pushing themselves to follow the orders.
It's not
so as mechanical as it is for them to follow orders.
I'm talking about the dynamic, because one, you have
they're struggling with each other because they're starting to have conflicting.
Well, they're having
views, conflicting views or such and such. Whereas Team RWBY is one goal.
Yeah,
one goal. One.
I'm saying is like you have Vine and Marrow who were not fully into the fighting, whereas Hair and Elm were seeing red. Like they were full on aggressive.
Yeah.
So, but you had two people who weren't fully committed to the fight, and you had two people who were fighting aggressively and blindly almost. And that was the thing.
The team was split.
Yeah,
the team
RWBY
wasn't strong.
They split them up. Yang and Blake pulled.
It's only as strong as its weakest link.
So, and
I mean, Marrow did some pretty cool stuff near the end.
Marrow was really like the one.
My one curiosity is why he didn't use his semblance sooner. Because it would have been easier to tie her up if she had been slowed.
Because again, he wasn't into it. He didn't want.
I know.
He wanted to.
But I mean, it's like I don't want to kill them. It's like
also
just slow.
Yeah. Also
walk up. Also, I wonder, does he have to verbally say it? Because then the easiest way to fight him is just go.
But here's the thing. I think even though, well, I'm not entirely sure, but I feel in a way, even though Weiss and RWBY were separated, they still watched each other.
I think another interesting point is the point that the Aesops have trained RWBY.
That is another thing.
Not just that they've trained them, but RWBY and them have watched how the Aesops fight. And when you take into account that the Aesops have been in a trained environment and probably not, like they're sent on missions, obviously. But they haven't dealt with wilderness and constant potential grim like RWBY and them have traveling by foot across the land.
They're not.
And dealing with new types of grim that the Aesops have probably never faced.
They've never dealt with. I don't know if the Aesops have fully dealt with villains too. Like they probably dealt with criminals, but not like, shall we say, big time like our villains.
Yeah.
And
RWBY
and another thing, like what you said, which honestly, and I agree. Like somebody said this, and I agree 100% because I never quite I didn't in the moment I didn't realize it, but I really felt that is when the Aesops say we're the best huntsman around, and then Ruby says you were, and then you trained us, and it's like, yeah, that's enough. And you also might bring up another point I was going to say is that they've been out there. They are in a way experienced with.
There are two types of experiences that I think really gave this fight to Team RWBY.
Mm-hmm.
Is that both Aesops and Team RWBY are traditionally trained in combat and such. But RWBY, probably more than the Aesops ever have had to deal with dynamic situations or changing situations.
Yeah, they adapt.
That they have to adapt on the fly.
And
there's no planning. There's no planning room like we saw earlier in the volume.
And they've even come to the point where they don't need to...
And they don't have the luck on their side.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Aesops has had luck on their side.
Their
for
leader's
so long,
gone,
probably.
in a way. Their leader is also absent, which is another, like, if... I don't know. I kind of would say yes, if Clover had been there, they would have won easily, because Clover 1 keeps them in check. He is their leader. He would have said, stay in your position, you two work together, sort of things. But with the absence of Clover, the Aesops run a little wild with their tactics. Yeah, that's a lot of why
they trust in hierarchy and not in each other.
Yeah, they
follow hierarchy, not each other.
That's the thing in the beginning. They were chosen based off their powers
to complement each other.
But it doesn't feel like they trained each other with it. Worked in their
Now that I think about it, what is each of the Aesops' weakness? Well, we saw a few of their weaknesses. We saw Elm or whatever.
Yeah,
we saw her.
That was one of my favorites. Is
breaking the ground.
You can't stick to the ground if there's no ground to stick to.
If the ground moves with you, we'll just move it all.
Yeah, it's like that was one of my favorites. It's just like basically every they exploited Vine's weakness simply because he was doing the same thing over and over again, and they took advantage of that. Elm's weakness was, she relies on she uses her semblance to aid her when she's in a bind in a situation. She has superior strength on her own to combat, but her semblance keeps her grounded. And without it, she's a little easier to handle. It's even funny. It's like she was gonna blow up the ground point blank. She was gonna shoot like Yang point blank.
So an interest, like if you were to try and pit certain fighters in this fight against each other as opposed to what we got, who would you prefer fight who? Who do you think would be better at fighting specific people?
You mean like of these ops? Which of these ops would have won
in
against?
One-on-one fights? Who would you pit RWBY against in the ops for RWBY to win? Like who in RWBY do you think should fight one-on-one in the ops?
And this excluding Clover.
Yeah.
I
personally think Weiss and Marrow was a good choice because of Weiss's summons.
Yeah,
she was able to fight as two people.
Yeah, that's what's the kind of interesting thing is that her unless the knight has its own kind of willpower or like Weiss controls it, but it also kind of acts on its own, maybe. So that's the thing is maybe. Either that, or when Marrow slows somebody, he doesn't slow their perception. Like, they can still function with their brain and their eyes still see at normal speed.
He slows their physical
but their
movements.
physical form doesn't move anymore. So Weiss is still controlling the knight and making it do, but she physically can't do anything until he focuses on another object. And that's the thing. He's fighting two at once, and he can't focus on two at once with his power.
So I think those two are a good matchup for RWBY's victory.
That's another element to why. And that's the thing, he wasn't into it. If he had stayed in the beginning, maybe they would have. Most certainly, they
probably wouldn't have been able to call her summon as quickly. But we've seen her.
I'm talking about like the whole team.
Yeah,
the whole team. RWBY may have gotten away with it. Like RWBY could have probably gotten out of it, and maybe if she was fast enough. But I think. If for the Aesops to win, Marrow probably would have been done better against RWBY.
Yeah.
And I think Hare would have done better against Weiss. Because her speed probably would outclass Weiss's much more static and slower powers.
Although, if to give Weiss a point, her ability to summon those glyphs to move quickly, and also the ones to kind of she stuck people or slowed them in certain. Like,
she has a gravity semblance.
The gravity semblance,
or
so
not
the
yeah,
ship
gravity
fell.
Lift.
So if she slowed Hair as Hair ran at her.
Yeah.
And the ability to change to the time one, which we haven't seen her do in a long time.
Also, this is Weiss's.
Where's Funky?
They're busy helping Ransel, right?
But it's just like this is think about it. When are we gonna get Funky to help us?
This is Weiss's first solo win. She's never won a solo fight before.
You kind of mean that a Weiss beat a Faunus or Schnee beat a Faunus. It's not. It's like it's just beating in the fact that Schnees are better than.
No, look.
I was just thinking about that as the fight came too close.
Really,
the
you want
only
to bring
Faunus in the team got beat by a Schnee.
So yeah,
I would say like for RWBY against the Aesops, I would say either Blake or Yang against Hair, because Blake, if she hits Hair with one good hit, she's probably gonna Hair probably doesn't deal with too many impacts. It looks like she and if Blake being a lot cooler headed now could probably take on the speed since she's
Blake being cooler headed.
Like
I was gonna say
Yang being cooler headed to deal with the speed since she's dealt with RWBY and trained with RWBY so much.
I see somebody also brought this up,
and Blake could tie up Hair's legs.
Yeah,
with her ribbon.
Yeah,
they could probably use the locking semblance,
they're
to create ice and
who they
hold her.
Well, see, what you're doing is pitting people against to win.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to evaluate who would I say if I were to try and put.
But I'm saying I'm trying to make the Aesops win, not RWBY.
No,
RWBY already won.
I'm saying if you were to pit if you were to put these people in one-on-one battles, not as a team or anything, who would beat the Aesops and who of the Aesops would beat RWBY? Where are these strong suits? Because it's their teamwork that really brought them to their victory.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly wouldn't have pit Yang very much against the heavy hitter.
I feel like that's the only one that could take.
I would have
or could handle.
I would say
because
either
Yang was storing that up. If you think about it,
yeah, I'd say either Yang now, seeing as she fought, I would probably after the fight, I was definitely okay, Yang can take her. I would put RWBY against Vine, or whoever is Vine, right?
Yeah, Vine's the Mr. Fantastic,
because I think she's fast enough to deal with his long arms and can get in close.
Yeah,
because as soon as Blake got in
close, and plus
again,
he can disintegrate, so he can't exactly
unless he encases her completely and just to suffocate. But I think Elm had the strong Elm and
Marrow, or
Marrow. If I were to say Elm to Aesops to win, I would probably say it. Hair against Weiss, Marrow against RWBY, or Blake, or not Blake. Marrow against RWBY or Yang.
Yeah,
because
if we're trying to subdue them.
I would say good against Yang because once she gets that last power up, if he slows her and moves around it, and she wastes it on a wall or something,
she does have less. She doesn't have that many more hits left.
Yeah.
After that, but So honestly,
I'd say Elm is good against most of them.
I will say this is probably one of my favorite fights in this volume is the Aesop's fight, because it's almost fairly evenly matched. It's just one team was more team focused and much more, and
they had a united goal and they're all working together.
Exploited the advantages. And I will say, Blake got thrashed. She gets thrown by Elm, she gets thrown by Vine, she gets thrown by
okay. One thing I thought was pretty funny was when they dodge Elm's attack and Blake grabs on and swings around. She just lands back on the ground and continues moving or whatnot. I'm like, so you could have just dodged it. You didn't have to go, wah. It looks cool, but...
And now finally Maria and Pietro, the grandparents are finally here to save the day. The grandparents
my gosh.
The grandparents when they catch you in your murder scene. what was I gonna say?
How much you want to say that would be really awesome if Pietro's like spider mech thing turned into like a full on mech suit, and he was like
he was Iron Man.
No, green. We got green, so he's Master Chief.
Oh my
God. He puts on. I need a penny.
Okay.
Then we'd have like he's Iron Man and Penny is the Iron Maiden or whatever it was.
Maybe that'd be funny.
It does have the floating like laser things.
So, speaking of Penny, she and Winter are in a situation. I gotta say, I really loved that shot. That shot of just Cinder at the end. It was the Darth Vader shot.
I'm sorry. I wanted to laugh at that because I like the idea of like Cinder maybe having cut her way through the guards
and then
ran back all the way.
Yeah, Cinder being extra. Like that's the thing.
The world.
It's like that's literally Cinder. Like maybe she could have just probably fireballed each one of them and just been waiting there.
It's like now that I've got their attention, look intimidating.
Yeah, I will say that's like
I'm a diva.
So. That's next week's fight, most likely.
Yeah, we've gotten through a lot of our fights that were set up. The only one we're left with is any potential fight against. Okay, we got Neo.
Yeah, we got Neo and Juniper.
And we got Cinder, and potentially at some point a fight against James.
Possibly.
You know what would be really almost ironic is if James is all ready to go and fight and to do everything. But he is so worn out after all the stress and everything, he can't put up a fight.
He just dies of a heart attack?
No, they just not dies of a heart attack. Falls over. Or they find him dead from a heart attack because he's so stressed out.
Yeah.
Or they just take him out with a single punch. He can't do anything.
But, yeah, so this is into prediction time. How do you think Penny and Winter are going to fare against Cinder?
Ooh.
Because we're in a small room with maybe a hallway.
Here's the one thing. Cinder can somewhat exploit... What if Cinder tries to exploit the idea of killing the maiden to... like either killing or harming the maiden to affect the mentality of them, and then what if Winter just straight up kills the maiden to gain the powers? Like she just stabs the old woman, and gains the powers of the maiden.
You know,
natural way.
I will. Well,
wait, can she? Is she too old? How old is Winter?
And she's like 20. I think 30 is the cutoff.
Okay,
so Winter's like within age.
Winter just stabs her, gains the powers, and then we got an even fight of.
But no, I
powers.
don't think Winter's gonna get these powers. Here's the thing. It never quite occurred because I didn't think Winter was gonna die. But a part of me is now starting to think that could happen because if Winter dies, what happens if the maiden dies and Winter's already dead? That means the powers go somewhere else.
Oh, here's an interesting thought. Winter is dying. She can't take the powers. They've subdued Cinder, and Winter tells Penny to get in the thing and gain the powers and whatnot.
Yeah,
and we have a robot maiden. Mecha maiden.
That is a really because that's almost perfect.
Plausible. It's possible.
It's possible. We don't know, but it's possible. And if done, that means that Winter Maiden is forever not going to die.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially that Penny can be killed, but I'm talking about in general.
Penny is killed and it goes to RWBY.
The Winter Maiden would never pass on if Penny lived forever.
Yes. It should be interesting.
But that's if I kind of have I wonder if, what if, Freya, wakes or is awake or, is too stressed and she just dies. She just dies in the middle of the fight and basically when in the middle of Cinder and Winter's fight, they look over and they realize Freya's already dead and there's no point for Cinder to be here and there's no point for Winter to be, Winter doesn't get
somewhere else.
It goes, they both fight and in the end, neither get the power.
It would also be really funny if during the fight, the opening to the cage flies off and hits Cinder, and as she knocks it aside, Freya's like, I'm old, I'm not feeling well, but I'm gonna beat you for attacking Winter.
That is actually another
angry maiden.
That is actually another cool thing. What if Freya just goes out with the blaze of glory?
It's like I don't have much energy left, but I'm putting it all into beating this goth little emo looking
goth. It's goth, but
mix.
So yeah, us, and because here's a funny thing, so. A lot of people have been kind of dissing Cinder lately, saying she's not as good as she's been. And
she's not the main focus villain right now.
I know.
She's becoming that as we're kicking off.
But it's villains. Compared to Hazel, Watts, and Tyrion, she's kind of small fry.
Yeah.
But I still think she's, in a way, because a lot of people, think Cinder's bad because she lost at. Well, okay, she did lose at Haven. She did kind of make a mistake there. She could have easily gotten the relic and gotten out. That would have been it was so easy. She could have gotten that relic. She didn't have to fight Ruby. She didn't have to fight anybody. The relic could have been theirs and done. And Cinder, but here's the thing. Okay, say we follow Cinder's plan. Cinder almost had that. If what was her name? Vernal had been the Spring Maiden, Cinder won. Mm-hmm. Cinder would have won if it hadn't been for Raven. Cinder won.
So, if you think about it from Cinder's point of view, that was 100% victory there.
That was almost 100% victory. Yeah,
because Frozen,
Raven, and Vernal's dead. So if
we see by her expression, she 100% believed it was Vernal.
Yeah. So basically, so
it's only because of Raven.
If the Raven plot twist did not exist, Cinder had this in the bag. Cinder could have. I don't know about Cinder Raven fight. I don't know. Maybe Cinder could. You see. Yeah, probably. I think Cinder could beat Raven with powers fully charged, especially double powers, because we've never seen that. I'm curious to see what would happen with. I mean. In a way, all of the maiden powers are just part of Oz, so it's not like she's going to become super powerful with it. It's just she's going to become more powerful. She's going to have more magic at her leisure.
And so, let's see. We have Neo versus what is it, Ranger?
Oh yeah, Neo versus Orange. Oscar.
That team name is changing so much.
We got to stick with color.
So I think it'd be pretty funny if they realize since Neo can't talk during the entire fight, they are chatterboxing to each other, and just saying things. So as soon as you turn to someone, if Neo transforms into one of them, it's like you're not talking. Punch.
That's actually a good point. That is a good point when they talk about because that's what we discussed. She could transform into them to confuse them. In a way, and that's a good point. I didn't think about that. They have to talk to keep themselves.
She can change the form of other things, like she did with the ship. Mm-hmm. If she were to touch one of them, could she change herself into them and them into her?
Oh, that is actually really. Oh.
We just see a Neo talking with John's voice.
No, Neo doesn't talk.
But I mean, it's because he would look like Neo.
Oh,
it's just guys, it's me.
But
you talk like a girl.
But yeah, that could be so good.
I don't know if she can do that though.
That would be really cool. She just bumps into them and they swap forms. And now they
know it's Neo, so she can just roll over them, and during the roll, you see a blur of motion.
And since I don't know, their vision probably would be. They couldn't see that they transformed, so they would still be, they wouldn't realize they are Neo,
and then they're getting hit.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a really cool Neo fight.
She just transforms between all of them, and then Jean realizes she can't say anything.
Yeah.
So they're just just say words.
Yeah. I really wish we had seen that fight with Neo and Oscar.
Neo, my weakness, words. The words, though.
So yeah, Neo. That would be. Oh, I really hope that happens now because I'm like now like whatever. If that doesn't happen, I'm actually gonna be a little disappointed because that's such a cool. I didn't think about that. That is actually if she can manage. Like I don't know because we don't know how like if she can project. Like we know she can kind of project her semblance, but I'm curious how
we've seen it. It's so okay. Every time we've seen it, it's either been like the only time we've seen it projected from her onto something else where she's not standing next to it is when she's on the ship with Roman leaving and Yang punches that.
That is
illusion.
true. That is true.
Now I don't know.
And there is a theory / possibility that the one that Cinder fought in the bar was just an illusion. It was never Neo. Was never there.
I believe that honestly. I could. See
I kind of don't because I feel like
I could see Neo being.
Maybe
in
her semblance has kind of a glass weakness, so it's probably easily when Cinder got her hits, it wasn't but her if that semblance projection was physically there, then it's gotten stronger to where it can take multiple hits.
If I were to pair up two people on the villain side to work together as a team, that would be terrifying. It would be Emerald and Neo.
Gosh,
because imagine punching Neo. And the illusion makes it look like she breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still there. Because of Emerald. And then you see another version that's fake. And you're getting hit. It's like, that would just be... It'd be almost worse than Mercury. Because if you hit a Mercury, you're either going to hit a Mercury or going to hit an illusion. But with Neo, helped by Emerald, you couldn't tell.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. But there's also we've also discussed this possibility. What if she transforms into Pyrrha to throw them off?
She dies. It's like she's like, I'm gonna throw them off. Pyrrha just gets stabbed by all of them. We accept we've lost her. We accept she's dead, and how dare you? It's like we were gonna hurt you, and we're gonna kill you. It's like
I don't know.
Neo, for the first time in her life, felt utter fear.
That was Raven.
Oh yeah. For the second time.
But
actually, for the 500th time, she felt fear a lot.
But yeah, I wish we'd seen that fight with Oscar. Like we thought Oscar was doomed.
I just want to see a fight where Oscar looks like he's punching himself the entire time.
I love that though. That was like, okay. When I first watched this, I thought Nora was doomed. I thought Nora was gonna get stabbed. I was like, oh, like when she was running to Oscar all happy, I was like, that's not Oscar, that's Neo, that's Neo. I was scared.
Like Oscar's not saying anything.
But like Oscar got a hit on Neo. Like Neo didn't even try to dodge that.
We're gonna find out later. It's not even the real Neo. It's the illusion Neo.
So there's So again, we were talking about her illusions and her projection. What if during you even mentioned now that could work, that could be part of the what if during the fight Neo makes a projected relic and steals the real one or confuses them thinking which relic is the real one. Now, the only way I could have a slight this would have to be Ozpin is the one to break this, but he could sense, maybe with magic or some sort, he could sense which one's real and which one's a fake. But
and that would be a cool twist if not really a twist, but a Ozpin's she's got the real relic. Go get it.
Yeah.
They're fighting amongst each other because she turned one of them into her and she ran off. Somehow transformed herself and got away out of their vision and ran off. And Ozpin's like, dude, she's getting away. Oscar, she's got the relic. Go. Man, I died for this.
Okay, so basically, it doesn't look like Neo's goal is to kill. Neo's goal is to basically get the relic. If she gets the relic, which I always find that funny, she had the relic and she didn't run. So she could have got, but I guess she was also looking to take you to
RWBY.
Yeah, I know.
I think she was trying to get in the group with the relic and whatnot and get to RWBY.
Maybe
get her goal to kill RWBY as Oscar.
Yeah,
and Oscar was like,
no. You know what? That makes sense. That probably is if she had
Because
if she had played the silent, goal and just not said anything, but but the others believed it was Oscar and gotten close, that's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. But yeah. So now that the jig is up, how do you think the Neo fight is gonna go? Like, beside what you just described, do you think Juniper or Orange has a chance against Neo by herself?
Well, that's hard to say. I'm trying to think of semblance powers that will help, and right now we got Oscar unlocks the semblance.
Yeah.
What we need to beat it. And then John empowers him because he's got the semblance that can fight this. Unless Nora gets electrocuted.
Do you realize we didn't know what Watt's semblances was? We never figured that out. We still don't know what Ironwood's is either.
So I can see Nora getting really mad at Neo, punching into the wall and grabbing the electrical cables and powering herself up. And then just be like, let's do this. That's the only way I see her getting her semblance active, unless someone hits her with electricity.
Yeah.
Which, it'd be funny if all of them carried tasers just for that. It's like, we're going into...
Here's
Nora, come here.
Here's how, Nora should honestly keep tasers on her so she can just, when you stim pack, it's like, adrenaline just...
You know those electrical shock things for muscles? She's got, like, a supercharged version attached all over. It's like, was it Bane or whatever, when he activates the fluid? It's just like...
Oh my gosh, that is... Nora, that's actually something Nora needs to invest in.
She could take, though.
She took like what Hazel
supercharged. She supercharged herself, hits Yang. Yang hits the enemy, powered by Jean. One punch.
So I'm honestly, I will say I'm so looking forward to seeing because I really
one episode
don't
to wrap all this up.
I don't think this is going to be the finale. This is the cliffhanger.
Yeah, and it might end up with
I kind of hope Neo doesn't lose. I hope she doesn't hurt anybody. And it does seem, since her goal is the relic.
Oh, I could see a possibility of them getting her away and not anyone dying if she gets one of them, stabs them pretty bad, and then during the fight she starts to run away, and so they stay together as a group, and John manages to heal them, but she buys herself enough time to escape, transform into someone else, and they've lost her.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just that the relic is her goal. So I'm curious if...
Oh, you know what would be she would definitely not do this, but takes the hat of Roman, turns it into the relic, and during the fight swaps it. And turns the relic into the hat.
See, but that's what...
And then they got almost a friggin' calling card of Roman.
Well, somebody also suggested, what if she transforms? Because, yes, we were discussing, is her semblance physical? And it's like, yes, it is physical because you can hit it.
Yeah.
And it can hit you. But what if she has this little ice cream keychain on her her outfit? So she transforms that, and it's when they're we have the relic. We don't have the relic.
It slips. Look, you broke the relic.
But
why do they keep ice cream in the relic?
Honestly, I hope I really could. I don't want I don't want Cinder to lose. I don't want her to win, but I don't want her to lose. I don't want Neo to lose, but I don't want her to hurt anyone. So in a way, I want Neo to win, but I don't want her to kill.
You want them to all survive.
Yeah. I want them to survive to fight. Yeah, I want them to survive to fight another. Well, I don't know about Winter. Winter's on the chopping block right here. Honestly, Penny's kind of also on the chopping block. I'm scared.
Oh my god.
What if we kill Penny again?
I want this to be a meme. I want the whole, your first time? With the whole news that's Penny looking at Winter.
Oh god! Oh my god! That is...
First time.
Wow!
Winter's just
my You gotta Photoshop this. Okay. I just realized we've talked for nearly 40 minutes.
Oh, there was so much of this episode to
No.
talk about.
We've talked for 40 minutes, and we haven't even touched Crow,
Well, that's kind
Clover,
of
and Tyrion.
That's probably the most closed-ended thing we have here. The only open-ended thing is what's Crow gonna do now?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Wait.
A lot of what?
Crow versus Ironwood next episode.
Probably not next.
Well, not
probably
fighting,
not
but
next
faces.
episode.
Faces
I don't even think.
I mean, he flies up there, and he just stares down Ironwood.
So here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand why Crow would join Tyrion. Because, Tyrion's a serial killer. Tyrion's a freaking psychopath. Tyrion's, why would you trust somebody who obviously would, kill you in a heart, like basically is not, is not on your side.
He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. And I understand what they're saying. I get, because when I first watched it, I was really confused to why Crow would not confused. Like, I understood why Crow and Tyrion joined forces, but it was such a jarring feeling seeing Tyrion and Crow work together. Like, that just seemed so out there.
Also, I gotta say, all this, his death, Tyrion escape, all that is because of Robin.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is really...
Robin, come on.
Like, if Robin hadn't done anything...
If they had just been like, let's calm down, let's wait till we get to Atlas. Like, if Crow was just like, let me talk with James.
Yeah.
Don't fight. And she's like, okay. Okay, yeah. I believe you.
Credits.
Credits. Salem's like, I lost.
Yeah.
They talked.
Tyrion's like, damn it. But, okay, here's what I will say. Crow was trying to fight Tyrion, and Clover was getting in the way. Crow was fighting Clover, and Tyrion was helping him. Like, Tyrion was not getting in Crow's way.
Yeah.
And that is another...
It was interesting that even after he was like, let's team up, Crow is like, no, I'm gonna still attack you. And they kind of fought a little bit, and it morphed into him working with Tyrion, as opposed to him just being like, okay, I believe you.
Yeah. It was a moment of just, okay, if you keep your word.
Also, he kept pushing him away. Like when you kind of look at it, Tyrion kept pushing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tyrion was Tyrion had openings. Tyrion had plenty of openings on Crow, and he was just not. He was not taking advantage of them.
But I mean, he was also keeping a distance between the two of them enough to where it wasn't just Crow turning and hitting him.
Yeah, but basically, what is Crow, Tyrion did kind of hold up his end of the bargain. He wasn't attacking Crow. He didn't take a cheap shot at Crow.
We'll work together. See, I stab him. Thank you for lending me your weapon. By the way, a lot of people probably still think I'm dead or might hope I'm dead or something. And you killed him. Have fun. Bye.
Yeah.
Crow's... this is the murder weapon of your... Oh, I'm so...
And
sorry.
Robin's not even a witness. Robin's out. So, Crow, now, Crow's at worst case, at best worst case scenario, he's kind of been framed. I mean, even if it's because, there's a lot of evidence stacked against him because, he has the motive to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
To retaliate.
And with the fact he's under, arrest on sight, people might think of him more criminal. I mean, most people don't even know him. So they could easily frame him.
Yeah,
and no one would believe him as being framed.
So, because
for the most part.
So, Crow's there. I'm curious what's going to happen to Crow after this. Is Crow going to be outlawed? Is he going to be on the run? Is he going to get arrested? Is he going to, basically Crow can't go back. Crow can't go back to Atlas in peace, in a way.
I'm just thinking about all the times Crow's punching people. I'm wondering, did he pick that up from what's their father's name?
Taiyang?
Taiyang, yeah. Did he pick up his martial art like punchy from Tai?
He probably did some training with Tai, and that'd actually be that'd be a cool little tidbit. Is that he learned a lot of his bar fight attacks, his punch.
I get drunk at bars and get beat up. Tai, help me out. Got you,
dude. Yeah. So yeah, and I will say Tyrion moved pretty fast for nobody to notice him getting behind Clover to get us. Like, nobody sees this. Nobody sees him getting.
I'm just imagining those old, like, Looney Tunes styled cartoons where he's like big.
Unless he like dug under the snow and just Tyrion was tied up the moment Crow made his decision to punch Clover. So Tyrion was handicapped at the moment. So in a way, I can understand why Crow and Clover basically let their guards down, because
on top of that, he went to punch him and didn't have a weapon, so he was going to subdue him.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, you're subdued. Tyrion is kind of out of it, which means I can handle him after I've dealt with you.
Yeah.
And then Tyrion's like, oh, but I can move knuckles.
I'm also slippery. Also, I think, now that I just realized that Clover did lose his weapon, so he did kind of lose some snag on Tyrion, so Tyrion could have wiggled out probably a lot easier. So yeah. Honestly, I just said that I loved RWBY versus the Aesop's, but Crow's fighting and fighting Clover. Crow's style was
those poses, by the way,
was just so well crafted. Just the way the scythe just moved around him, like it was moving around him without him even moving. Like, he would spin, but the scythe would spin 3 times around him. It was so good.
I love those, like, the shots, like when you see him in the distance and he's got the scythe behind him and everything. It's like it looks so pretty.
Do you realize? Like, that, it's so funny, because, do you realize how, like, back in Volume 4 and even a little bit in Volume 5, but not much, we didn't really see Crow using much of his scythe until 6. So, we had been building up this scythe stuff for a while, and now finally getting to see it is so it's so good, it's so well done. They've done, the animators and everybody who's involved did such a good job, like, pulling that that style and that flow and just the way it definitely you can see, you can almost see a much more experienced RWBY in there. Like, you can see where RWBY could become. Like, RWBY's much more, flowy and flashy and
disintegrating
and speed, but Crow is much more precise. And yeah, so there's so yeah, that's one kind of like the one of the many debates about whether, like, and the thing is like,
I mean, really, when you think about it, Crow didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah,
Crow was going to be fighting both of them ultimately.
Yeah, Crow
just couldn't handle the
Crow basically was left with
line.
Crow was basically left with, if all right, you aren't going to help me fight this guy, all right, but you are going to help me fight this guy. Fine, I'll go with the guy who's not causing me problems right now. Like, if Clover had not been... Clover was really being the stupid one here. Like, Clover was... Like, your orders is what caused your own death. If you had been focused on taking out the guy who was really important, instead of the guy who, Crow could have easily flown away. He could have been a bird and just left. He could have, like, said, bye.
We've got Robin, who's probably going to wake up and see this.
Well, she's either going to wake up or she's kind of out. Like, she's out where she needs medical attention. So she might not wake up till she's, either an Atlas or Mantle.
We need her semblance. He can tell the truth. That's the only possibility he has.
That is true. That is very true. He can tell the truth. Of course, that does reveal that Robin is the cause of all this.
By the way, it's all her fault. He's telling the truth. My semblance.
So if you think about it, this is also kind of Ironwood's fault.
It's all Ironwood's
This is really just all Ironwood's fault.
But that situation could have been avoided, and Tyrion could have been
avoided. I mean, sure, Ironwood didn't intend...
All that in the ship could have been avoided if he hadn't followed his order, and him following his order could have, like, after that, could have been avoided by her not shooting him.
Yeah. Crow was
Calm down.
like, okay, it basically, like, Crow did make did make kind of the least preferable choice or something like that. Crow was basically left with the least preferable choice because everything around him was not benefiting him. Like, the only one who was benefiting him was the one that, you know, he couldn't fight.
Even then, it was a betrayal.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I also have to think that the Aesops are now taking in RWBY.
Yeah,
in his mind.
Yeah. Like,
so,
he's...
Team RWBY and all of them, everyone he's with, is now under attack by the Aesops.
Yeah.
So, kind of protective Crow would probably be more inclined to subdue the Aesops and subdue Tyrion and get to them as quickly as possible. Whatever route it takes. And who knows how many times he's had to work with someone he doesn't like to achieve a goal.
He's only known, like, Clover for, what, a month? Maybe 2 at most? Because they've not been here long. Well, maybe I'll give it 3 months. I'll give it 3 months because they did do a lot of operations, a lot of things, and, you know.
A lot of kids had to go to school.
Yeah, and who knows how long the election, like, from start to finish, the tally votes, the panels are posted that we never really got to see, but, and the Aesops, you know, doing the trucks, transporting, building animated arena and all that. So, at the very most 3 months, at the very least a month. That's how long RWBY has, maybe a month and a half, because we had to count Cinder traveling and catching up. So, yeah, that's how long they've probably known each other. And basically, like, Crow is kind of going back into, like, a relapse situation with Crow now. It's like he's falling back into, like, his old cynicism, his behavior. Because, you know, every friend he makes, sooner or later, turns on him, or he causes harm to them.
He blames himself for the misfortune of their death.
Yeah, so Crow is basically, you know, this is another situation where it's like Crow's having to relive the reality he built around himself. That, you know, it was a situation that was a lot of things really went down that were all avoidable, but at the same time were really everyone made bad decisions in this situation.
Robin, shoot first, think later is not what you're supposed to do in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so
now that I think about it, Robin would be absolutely useful in the, like, police force or whatnot when catching criminals. Did you do it? Yes. He did it. Did you do it? No. He did it.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Yes. He's lying. He's covering for someone.
Okay, so yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed
good episode.
It was very
it does kind of make me
it's very tragic.
How the next one's gonna go though.
Yeah, this makes me curious what's gonna happen in the finale. This is because it's the oh my gosh, the finale. It's very most certainly Salem is going to be like one of the final shots, or at least she shows up halfway through. Something with Salem is going to happen. And I'm curious. I'm actually wondering, what if Ironwood... okay, say Winter or something with the Winter Maiden goes well, and Ironwood does succeed in actually lifting Atlas into the sky, and he saves Atlas, but Mantle is obliterated, basically gets overrun, everyone dies, everything, like, just... And the next season, Atlas... We're trapped on Atlas, and we have to find a way to escape Atlas. Get back on the ground.
It would also be really interesting.
But Salem's waiting. You know, she's just sitting there.
Is it... it's reading the paper, it's like, come on down. Get back down here. Down here now. But it'd be really interesting if Salem, like, appeared at Mantle with all the angry people and was like, let us together take down Atlas.
Yeah.
And recruit them all. They all climbed on monkeys and they all flew up and attacked.
Ooh, that. Now that would be a twist. Atlas does go up. Mantle is pissed, but the Grimm stop attacking. And Salem... Because now Salem...
Work for me!
Oh my god, that would be so twisted. Salem...
they wouldn't really have a reason not to. Ironwood didn't
Salem
give
gets
them a reason
her
not
own...
to.
Salem gets an army of humans. Of pissed off humans.
Creating the divide.
Or Faunus too, but... God,
People.
that would be... God, that would be... And see, see, we were trying to unite humanity to fight Salem. And this was another thing we feared. Telling humanity about Salem just gives more people to possibly follow her.
She just shows up. You'll be safe from the Grimm. Just join me and kill everyone else. Okay. They left you. Go and kill them.
Gosh,
you can ride a personal Grimm monkey. Like used car saleswoman. Here's your own personal Grimm monkey. Such and such miles on it, only to and from the Grimm world.
Oh man, that would be. Gosh, if that happens, that's a really. Because it's either Atlas falls, which is just as bad as Atlas flying.
It'd be really odd twist that I don't see likely happening. They take the relic. Atlas falls, like one or two of the sides, whichever one takes the relic, and our next volume is just running from Atlas. It's not even like.
But where? I mean,
I don't know.
But
it's just the sense of like the entire kingdom is now getting overrun with Grimm, and everyone in it with Mantle, Atlas, and Mantle aren't arguing with each other in the skies. They're arguing with each other on the ground in Grimm territory, and the Aesops now freed. Are also at odds with Team RWBY.
Yeah,
and
but that's what I'm saying. Maybe
terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Probably Team RWBY's now on the run. Like maybe they have to. They're like the goal. Like Atlas is basically stuck. They can't do anything about Atlas. Their goal is then just to get back on the ground. So they have to escape, and that's like the first half of the volume. The second half is, of course, they get back on the ground. They see the horror of what happened, and then they're trying to basically get to the next goal, which is either Vacuo or wherever they can go. So
and Funky and them are still at like a club or something like that. They haven't even realized this all has happened.
What if Funky's down there in Mantle?
Then when Salem rolls up, they won't be down there for long.
Oh boy. Funked. God. And so I'm
very interested to see how they're going to wrap up this volume in preparation for the next.
Yeah, this is going to 100% be a cliffhanger volume, which I'm actually really looking forward to, because I've always kind of wanted that. I wanted a volume to build into another volume.
The only question I have is, like, there's the different types of cliffhanger. Are we going to get that thing where it's like if Atlas falls, you start to see it fall, and then that's where the cliffhanger happens? Or are we going to get the thing where it's landed, we're at this point, and then it's just like we see everything that's happened, and
I don't know. Like that's just it depends on what happens with Atlas. It depends because
next volume will either start with Atlas
whatever happens with Atlas.
Dust is on Atlas.
Whatever happens. Oh jeez.
Could it blow up?
Oh jeez. That would be like that would be a nuke. Okay, so whatever happens with Atlas depends on the Winter Maiden. Because we need the relic. That's the thing. We need the Winter Maiden who is in danger. To get the relic, which is also in danger. To lift Atlas, which is also in danger. To just say...
Everyone in Atlas, I'm in danger. Alright.
Yeah.
Not much more I can think of, because we just gotta wait for that next episode.
Yep. This is it, the finale. And this was oh man.
So much.
Yeah, a lot. This is the longest discussion we've ever had. This is gonna go into an hour and 30 minutes. This is probably gonna be my longest video. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this long video. Take care, and we will see you there in the finale of RWBY Volume 7. Bye.